Welcome to Cox OC Connection. I'm Lacy Kelly. Today on Civic Connection, I'm visiting with Scott Larson, who is the Executive Director of HomeAid Orange County. Thanks for coming today, Scott.
Thank you, Lacy. It's good to be here.
I want to talk to you about your 8th annual Essentials program. I understand that you guys are working on that now. Give us an overview of that program.
You know, the exciting thing about this program, Lacy, is that it's really honing in on a very important need that a lot of people in the community may not even be aware of. And people may not realize that there are homeless babies in Orange County. And we'll get into some of the numbers, but this drive is specifically to collect the diapers and the wipes that are needed for these babies. And we've been doing it, as you said, now for 8 years. This is our eighth year that we're doing the campaign.
Okay, excellent. And so you just do diapers, or you do, what all are the products that you provide to these homeless people and for these babies?
Well, the core focus is on diapers and wipes.
Okay.
There's a lot of other agencies that might be providing food or clothing, which we do accept. But the key gap that we found in the Orange County homeless system a number of years ago was specifically for diapers.
Okay, great. So I'm gathering then that this is a family that you're talking about. You don't give the diapers to the babies. So this is an alarming thing that you're making us aware of, that there are families out there that are homeless. Can you tell us some of the numbers of who these people are and where they are?
You know, it really is an interesting thing because it does get down to people's individual stories. And a number of years ago, I met a young woman by the name of Julia. And Julia grew up on the streets of Orange County. Her parents were homeless, and she grew up homeless. And when she found herself pregnant on the streets of Orange County, which is just a thing people can't even begin to grasp, she began to realize, I need to do something for my baby. I need to change. So she had an opportunity to go into Precious Life Shelter, which is a shelter for pregnant women, and to start her life anew, and started life anew for her baby. And the interesting thing is that Julia's story, and she's very successful now, she's living independent and she's on a very strong career path, but Julia is one of hundreds of people in her situation. And when we look at the number of babies alone that are in the network of homeless shelters in Orange County, it's on average around 400. And that's a lot of babies that are at risk, that are with families that are trying to get their lives back on track for whatever reason. It could be abandonment, it could be job loss. There's a whole variety of circumstances that led them there. But now they're at the shelter. The key thing that we're wanting to do is to provide them really the key things that they need. And you may not think much about it, but diapers and wipes are kind of that third rail beyond housing and food. Well, what's the next thing that a baby might need?
Right.
Are diapers and wipes.
Right. Wow, that's something I've never thought of. I bet a lot of our guests have not thought of that before. So I understand you're working with Sandra Hutchins, our sheriff, on this. Tell me about that.
It is. The Essentials Drive has been a great partnership with the Children and Families Commission of Orange County. They've been our partner for the last 8 years. And early on, we wanted to look at how do we bring in other key people within the community. And in a collaborative outreach, we brought in the sheriff to be our honorary chair. And it has been very exciting to see her growing passion for this issue. Clearly, the Sheriff's Department is at the forefront of a lot of key issues in the community, homelessness being one of them. And she saw this need as well. And she wanted to really lend her name and her credibility and the backing of the Sheriff's Department to help us grow this campaign, because she saw such a tremendous need. And so it's been great to have her as our partner, as our honorary chair.
Right, okay, that's excellent. Well, I see a fact here about the age of most of your moms that have these babies that are homeless in their early 20s. Is that correct? It
is. You know, when you look at some of the different shelters, whether or not it's the pregnant women's shelters or the domestic violence shelters or even some of the family shelters, the amount of families that they're needing to begin to house is really a growing number. Families are one of the largest growing segments in the homeless population. And we're finding them to be younger and younger. Women that, for whatever circumstances, have lost their job, just can't make it financially, and find themselves at risk, and find themselves, trying to manage a household, maybe as a single mother, and we need to be able to provide them the backbone to get them back on their feet, because they have a lot of opportunities before them, but we need to take care of a few core things in their life to make sure that they can get back on track.
So your Essentials program is about the diapers and wipes, but they have to have some place to go. Do we have enough shelter space for these people, for these young
Well,
women?
one of the key things that HomeAid is working on is a number of new shelters in the community for families that are in emergency. And here in the month of April, we are opening one of the first true emergency shelters for homeless families in the city of Anaheim, in partnership with the Children and Families Commission.
Oh, great.
So there is a growing need. There have been families that have been showing up at the cold weather program, the Armory system, which you would think that's only for single men or single women, but there are families that are showing up. So we're building the infrastructure to house them, and then programs like the Essentials campaign really begins to provide those core needs. One of the things you may not realize is that it's about $100 a month for a family with one child to purchase diapers and wipes and the essential supplies that they need. That's a big impact on a budget that might already be stretched.
Of course.
Then when someone is in the homeless system and they're in the shelter, that burden is still there. And some of the nonprofits that we've partnered with, some of the pregnant women's shelters, they budget up to $10,000 a year for diapers alone.
Wow.
So this whole campaign is really designed to meet the needs of these agencies, but specifically for the families that are there. So that way that concern is taken away.
Okay. Okay. And why May? Why would you do this in May?
Well, the interesting thing, a lot of campaigns are towards the end of the year. And there's a lot of people that give food
around the holidays?
Around the holidays.
Okay.
But we saw a couple different things. The donations at some of the shelters diminish as you get into the midsummer, because whatever was donated at the end of the year begins to diminish. But the other key thing is we wanted it to revolve around Mother's Day. So the campaign specifically is the week before Mother's Day, the 1st through the 8th of May, and really bringing the attention to this core need. Because obviously I'm not a mother, I'm a father, but as mothers look at some of the core needs with their babies, they want to make sure their babies are healthy, they want to make sure their babies are taken care of. It's a core element in who they are as a mother.
Right.
And so we felt, what a better way to tie in this campaign and raising the awareness of homeless families and specifically homeless babies than around Mother's Day at the beginning of May.
Sure, sure. Well, I didn't know this much about homeless families. I want to help. I want to go buy some diapers and wipes.
Yes.
Where do I go? What do I do?
Well, there's a couple different things that you can do. Obviously, you can go to any retailer, and I bet you'll be amazed, Lacy, when you pick up that case of diapers and you go through the checkout.
It's been a while since I had a baby. I bet it's expensive.
So just be prepared.
Yeah.
But know that you're doing a tremendous need. Now, we're going to have a lot of drop-off locations throughout the county.
Okay.
And on our website, HomeAidEssentials.org, we'll have the list of different places where you can bring the diapers to.
Okay.
Some will be community drop-offs. You can bring them to HomeAid's office, which is centrally located in Irvine near the airport. So it will easily be accessible on our website of where to bring them.
Okay. Okay, great. Before I move on to the Young Lives, you mentioned that this is a fast-growing population. We're hearing a lot about the economy now rebounding.
Right.
You would hope to hear that number is going down. Any information on why the population is growing?
Well, the challenging thing is, and I know in some of your other work you may recognize this, the economy is rebounding. There's no doubt about that. But a couple other key things are tied to it. Jobs are coming back, but maybe not at the same level or at the same pay, or they may be part-time. And so even though those numbers are definitely improving, the types of jobs that might be available for a young family or a young mother may not be financially as well as they were before the recession.
They're underemployed.
They're underemployed.
Got it.
The other key thing is that the housing prices, not only for purchase, but rental prices are going up as well.
Sure.
So there is a double effect with that. Not as much income and rising rental rates. And so it's putting pressure on young families that if they lose a job or if they're just getting reemployed or trying to develop a new career, they're still very much at risk even with an improving economy.
Sure. So I have something on this sheet of paper here that says Young Lives. Is that related to the Essentials program? What is that about?
It is. The key thing, and we've tried to figure out how we market and brand this. So Essentials is the campaign.
Okay.
But the Young Lives is really tied to really focusing on who it's for. Because if we don't focus on these young lives, specifically children 0 to 5, which is one of the core focuses of the Children and Families Commission, is all kinds of quality of life issues for children 0 to 5. If we don't address those young lives at this point, then it sets just a whole series of patterns that are more difficult to repair when they get older.
Right.
So it is it's the focus that these diapers are really beginning to focus on young lives, these children that are under the age of 5.
Sure. We just have a little bit over a minute left. Is there anything that you haven't said that you want our viewers to know about HomeAid Orange County or this program?
Well, the key thing, HomeAid was started by the home building industry. And our main focus over the years has been actually developing shelters. As home builders build homes for people like yourself,
sure.
HomeAid builds shelters for those that are homeless. So it is a little ironic that we're doing diaper drives. Mm-hmm. But we really felt that it was a great way to, one, meet a need that was an unmet need. Secondly, is that it brings up that whole issue of, yes, there are homeless people in the community and homeless babies. Mm-hmm. And it's a very tangible thing for you to do. We really want to encourage, not just individuals like yourself, but get your churches involved. Get your other civic groups, whether or not it's a Kiwanis Club or even groups like National Charity League. There's all kinds of ways to get this campaign going, because we do have a goal of 1.2 million diapers.
Got it.
When you take the 400 babies that I mentioned earlier, mm-hmm. This is another stat. A baby goes through 3,000 diapers a year.
Oh my goodness.
Which it's an amazing number. You never want to add them up when you had your own children. But that's 1.2 million diapers. So we do have a campaign goal of 1.2 million. Okay. So we really want to make sure that everyone plays their part, whether or not it's one box or 100 boxes. We want to encourage the community to be involved.
Well, here at Cox, we wish you the best in reaching your goal, and I want to thank you for your service to the community. And some people may not know that you actually chair the Preventing Homelessness Board here in this county, and so thank you for all your good work and for being here today.
Appreciate it, Lacy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching OC Connection. We'll see you next time.
We need your help, Orange County, to support HomeAid's annual diaper drive. We ask that you again join us in our goal of ensuring that every child in the HomeAid Service Provider Network has a supply of essential items for 1 year.
The donations my family received from the Essential Drive helped us get back on our feet.
To find a donation location near you, please visit HomeAidEssentials.org.